In today's world, the most chilling threats don't always come with a warning. They come disguised as care. What if the person who claims to love you, protect you, or support you is secretly wishing for your downfall, or worse, your death? That's not paranoia. It's a reality, more common than we want to admit. History, psychology, and even personal experience all point to one terrifying truth. When someone wants to destroy you, they rarely announce it. They infiltrate your trust study, your weaknesses, and wait smiling while they plan. And by the time you realize what's happening, the damage is already done. This video isn't about fear, it's about clarity. You'll discover 5 subtle but powerful signs that someone in your life may be harboring violent intentions. Not just emotionally toxic, but life-threatening. These are the signs most people overlook until it's too late. Because in an age where betrayal hides behind affection and envy wears the face of a friend, your survival depends on your awareness. Social media makes it easy for enemies to watch your every move. Family ties no longer guarantee loyalty, and love, when poisoned by obsession or resentment, can turn deadly. So if you've ever felt that something or someone just isn't right, trust that feeling. You're about to learn how to decode the warning signs before the mask slips and the threat becomes real. What you're about to hear could protect your peace, your freedom, and even your life. Stay with me. What you'll learn in the next few minutes could be the most important knowledge you ever gain. The silent observer. Let's begin with the first and perhaps most chilling sign that someone may be planning harm, the one most people overlook until it's far too late: the quiet tracker. This isn't just a person who notices you. It's someone who deliberately monitors you with precision. Someone who gathers data about your life the way a hunter studies its prey. This kind of person doesn't need to raise suspicion. They don't need to threaten or confront. Instead, they remain hidden, subtle, almost invisible. You might notice strange patterns in your day-to-day life, but brush them off as coincidence. The same unfamiliar face on your street multiple times. A sudden influx of attention from someone who was once indifferent. Or unsettling familiarity from an acquaintance who suddenly knows far too much about where you've been or who you've seen. But make no mistake, this isn't chance. It's strategy. And in a world where your location habits and routines are often freely posted online, it's easier than ever for someone to track you without ever stepping foot near you. Maybe you've checked into a cafe and someone unexpected just happens to show up. Maybe a mutual friend mentioned something you never told them, or your route home is no longer as private as it once was. These small signs often come long before any confrontation, because the person who truly wishes to harm you doesn't start with violence. They start with patterns, observation, testing. What makes this so dangerous is how easy it's become to keep tabs on someone. Shared calendars, old app permissions, Instagram stories, mutual connections, all of these can become tools in the hands of someone with a dark motive. Worse still, many people who engage in this level of observation are not complete strangers. They often blend into the background of your life. They could be a neighbor, a colleague, or a distant acquaintance who is gathering information while pretending to be harmless. In some cases, they go beyond passive tracking. They may manipulate situations to observe your reactions, showing up uninvited, mentioning something obscure to see if you notice, even creating fake profiles to watch what you post without you knowing. These tactics are not random. They are part of a calculated approach to understand how you move where you're vulnerable and when you're alone. And that's why this first sign is so critical. It's subtle, it's quiet, and yet It's often the foundation for something far more dangerous. Surveillance, whether physical or digital, is never innocent when paired with malicious intent. It's the groundwork for control, or for something far worse. So if you begin to sense that someone knows too much about your routine, if their presence feels oddly timed, or if your privacy seems to vanish despite your efforts, you must take it seriously. Recognizing these early clues isn't paranoia. It's wisdom. It's self-defense. And it could be the key to staying one step ahead of someone who's already studying how to end you. The emotional manipulator. Now let me tell you about something that nearly turned tragic for someone I once knew. Someone we'll call Becca. She didn't see the danger until it was almost too late. What looked like kindness and support turned out to be something far darker. It began slowly, with someone who always seemed to show up at just the right time when she was low, vulnerable, or doubting herself. This person offered comfort, advice, and emotional shelter. But underneath that warmth was a chilling agenda. This leads us to the second critical sign of lethal intent, the emotional manipulator. These individuals don't just aim to harm you physically. Before anything external happens, they work from the inside. Their true weapon is control, not through threats or violence, but through emotional dependence. They twist your mind before they ever touch your body. At first, it seems innocent, helpful even. They listen when no one else does. They say the right things, but soon they start planting doubts about your other friends, about your family, about your own judgment. They don't get you like I do. You'd fall apart without me. You're too emotional to do this alone. It sounds like concern. It feels like care. But it's poison wrapped in affection. These manipulators don't just want influence. They want domination of your emotional world. They study you, learn your insecurities, and then position themselves as your only safe space. You start to believe them. You pull away from your support system. You stop trusting your instincts, and you rely more and more on their approval. Think about your own life. Is there someone who always needs to be the center of your decisions? Someone who undermines your confidence with backhanded help? Someone who seems to always be there when you're vulnerable, but mysteriously distant when you feel strong? That's not love. That's a psychological trap. They don't stop at subtle manipulation. Over time, they may start using fear masked as concern. They say things like, "I worry something bad will happen to you," when what they really mean is, "You're safer under my control." Or, "Only I really understand you," which is just a disguised warning not to trust anyone else. Eventually, they may even weaponize your past, your secrets, your regrets, holding them over you like emotional blackmail. And the most dangerous part, you won't even realize it's happening. It's slow, strategic. They will break you, then offer you a hand, just so you think they're the savior. If someone in your life is gradually isolating you while reinforcing your dependence on them, that's not love. That's a setup. A manipulator of this kind doesn't just want emotional control. They're laying the groundwork for something far more destructive. This is the second undeniable warning. Emotional domination always precedes the final act of destruction. Recognizing it could save more than your sanity. It could save your life. The resource controller. I need your full focus right now, because what I'm about to reveal isn't just disturbing. It's something that might already be unfolding in your life without your knowledge. This isn't about paranoia. It's about pattern recognition. It's about survival. Because when someone is plotting your downfall, they rarely come at you head on. No, The most effective predators go after everything around you. First, your relationships, your reputation, and your trust in the people closest to you. This is the fourth, and perhaps most insidious warning sign: the social saboteur. This isn't just someone who gossips or spreads lies. This is someone who builds an entire false reality around you. One whisper at a time, one conversation at a time, until the world sees a version of you that they've carefully crafted broken, unstable, untrustworthy. And you're left watching your life unravel from the inside out. Here's how it starts. They figure out who matters to you, who you lean on, who believes in you. Then they move in quietly and begin their work. They don't attack, they express concern. They don't accuse, they ask questions. Suddenly, your best friend is distant. Your sibling treats you with suspicion. Your colleagues look at you like something's off. They might say things like, "I'm just worried about her. She's been acting different," or, "Have you noticed how isolated he's become lately?" These aren't innocent observations. These are calculated moves. Carefully scripted manipulations designed to corrode the trust between you and your support system. And what makes this tactic so dangerously effective is that you don't see it happening until the damage is done. Because they work through suggestion, not confrontation. They keep their hands clean while turning everyone else's mind against you. Think about that. One day, you start to feel the shift. People stop returning your messages. Family members seem cold. Friends who once knew you better than anyone now seem unsure, hesitant. And you can't quite explain why, because the person pulling the strings made sure you couldn't trace it back to them. This is psychological warfare at its most advanced. It's not just about cutting you off. It's about making sure you look like the one who broke everything. So when your life begins to fall apart, when you reach out for help and no one answers, it won't look like sabotage. It'll look like the natural collapse of someone who couldn't keep it together. That's what makes this fourth sign so chilling. It doesn't come with warning lights or loud threats. It comes with silence, subtle manipulation, and the slow erosion of your social reality. So here's the truth you need to hold on to. If your most trusted relationships are starting to break down, and one person seems to be rising in influence across your social circle, it's not a coincidence. It's strategy. You're not imagining it. You're witnessing the systematic collapse of your support network, engineered by someone who wants you defenseless. And once that network is gone, there will be no one left to stand between you and their final move. Recognizing this tactic could be the one thing that saves your life. The calculated predator. We've now reached the fifth and most disturbing sign of all, the one that separates a simple threat from a truly lethal presence in your life. This isn't just about someone who harbors dark intentions. This is about someone who has already constructed the blueprint for your destruction down to the smallest detail. And by the time you sense something is off, they're already several steps ahead. This is the precision planner, the individual who doesn't react emotionally, but instead orchestrates your downfall like a master strategist. They don't wait for the right moment, they manufacture it. Every conversation, every decision, every coincidence they introduce into your life has a hidden purpose. This isn't spontaneous violence. It's cold, clinical execution disguised as bad luck. Let me pull back the curtain on how this kind of predator works. It starts with subtle tests, small actions that seem insignificant at first, but are actually designed to probe your defenses. Maybe they fiddle with your car under the guise of being helpful, or they leave your front door unlocked and act surprised when you mention it. Maybe they forget to secure your windows, or accidentally cause a near miss while driving. These are not accidents. They're data collection. They're testing your awareness, your habits, your limits. What's even more chilling is that these close calls aren't mistakes. They're practice runs, rehearsals for a future event designed to appear accidental or unpreventable. Each close call isn't just conditioning you, it's conditioning everyone around you. Friends begin to think you're forgetful. Family believes you're clumsy. And when something truly catastrophic happens, no one questions it. Because here's the real danger: while you're trying to rationalize what's happening, they're building the perfect cover story. They've already told people about your bad memory. They've hinted that you've been stressed or distracted lately. They've made sure that when things go wrong, the explanation fits seamlessly into a narrative they've been crafting for months or even years. This is what I call strategic normalization. They introduce risk, gradually cloaking it in concern or convenience. They might suggest a shortcut on a risky road. They might offer to cook for you and accidentally mix up ingredients you're allergic to. They'll insist on driving after one drink, claiming they're fine. All of it is masked in normalcy, but it's anything but normal. What makes this final sign so horrifying is how calculated and methodical it truly is. It's not impulsive. It's not emotional. It's planned, meticulously, quietly. And once you begin to see the pattern, if you're lucky enough to catch it in time, it's because you finally stepped outside the illusion they've built. So if someone in your life seems to be engineering moments that put you in danger, while also crafting explanations and collecting witnesses to prove their innocence, you are not being irrational. You are waking up to the final and deadliest sign. This is not chance. It's not misfortune. It's the last step in a long and deliberate chain of manipulation and planning. Recognizing this type of person may not just save your peace of mind, it may save your life. In a world where danger often hides behind smiles and friendly faces, awareness is no longer optional. It's essential. This video revealed the 5 deadly signs that someone close to you may be plotting your downfall. The silent observer, the emotional manipulator, the resource controller, the network infiltrator, and the calculated predator. These aren't just abstract ideas. They're patterns pulled from real stories and tragic realities. Stoic philosophy teaches us to remain calm, observe with clarity, and take action rooted in wisdom, not fear. Recognizing these red flags is not about paranoia, but about protecting your peace, your energy, and your life. The moment you begin to connect the dots, you stop being a victim and start becoming your own guardian. Thank you for watching. If this video gave you clarity or struck a chord, let us know in the comments. Your insight might be exactly what someone else needs to see. Subscribe to Stoic Wisdom Path for more truth perspective and timeless self-defense through Stoic insight. Stay alert, stay grounded, stay alive.